In my last video, I talked about what I'd be willing to do about housing within our district. But in this video, I want to talk about what I'd be willing to do about housing outside our district. Ironically, a key part of the solution to the housing crisis within our district is actually housing outside of it. What we've got is a problem where too many people are all trying to live in the same small space. But what California has is an enormous amount of undeveloped land in the interior of the state. So what I want to talk to you about today is a housing opportunity area, HOA. That is an area that I'd establish in the middle of the state that would be no zoning and would be exempt from a lot of the building regulations that normally apply here in our state. That would allow people to build housing much more cheaply than anything that we could ever build here in our district. That creates a pathway for young families, historically marginalized communities, lower income people to actually be on a pathway to home ownership, which is the American dream. So let's use what we have here in California, all that undeveloped land, and get people on a pathway to home ownership. That's a much better pathway than what our legislature is currently doing, which is things like builder's remedy that allows something like this iconic property here in Menlo Park, the old Sunset Magazine building, to be torn down and turned into a 10-story apartment tower. That's something that makes sense in the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Fun fact, I actually moved to the Bay Area from the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Let me show you a quick picture of what that looks like. So one question on the table in this election is, do you want Menlo Park to look like the Upper East Side of Manhattan? If you do, you don't need to make any changes. But I would argue that we've got all this undeveloped land in California that we could use to get people on a pathway to actual home ownership instead of sentencing them to a lifetime of renting in 10-story apartment towers that make no sense in neighborhoods like Menlo Park. And if you agree with me on that, then please vote Gus March 5th and November 5th for a better way forward on housing. Thank you.